You upload a video. You wait. Hours pass. Days pass. And the views barely move. No impressions. No push. Nothing. And the first thought that hits you is, did YouTube shadowban my channel? Here's the truth, YouTube is not ignoring you. It simply doesn't have enough data to trust you yet. For new channels, YouTube works like a testing engine, not a promotion machine. Before your video ever reaches a wider audience, the system runs it through multiple silent checks. Who clicks, who watches, how long they stay, and whether viewers behave like humans, or like bots who bounce in 5 seconds. Most beginners think the algorithm decides who to show your video to. In reality, viewers decide, and YouTube reacts to their behavior. If your thumbnail gets impressions but no clicks, distribution slows. If people click but leave early, distribution slows. If YouTube can't clearly identify who enjoys your content, distribution slows even more. This is why two videos with the same topic can perform completely differently, even on the same day. In this video, we're breaking down exactly why YouTube is not showing your videos as a new channel. From an algorithm and data perspective, not motivation, not guesses, not YouTube guru myths. Once you understand how YouTube tests, labels, and validates new videos, you'll stop blaming luck and start fixing the real bottlenecks holding your channel back. 1. YouTube doesn't push new videos. It tests them. The biggest misunderstanding new creators have is thinking YouTube decides to promote a video before people react to it. That never happens. When you upload a video on a new channel, YouTube treats it like an unknown variable. No trust history. No audience profile. No performance baseline. So instead of pushing it, the system runs a controlled test. Your video is first shown to a very small, highly specific group of viewers. Sometimes this group is so small that it feels like nothing is happening. But under the hood, YouTube is collecting critical signals. The first signal is click behavior. Not just your click-through rate, but who is clicking. Are these viewers similar to people who usually enjoy this topic? Or are they random users who immediately bounce? Then comes early retention. YouTube heavily weighs what happens in the first 30 to 60 seconds. If viewers hesitate, scrub forward, or leave early, the system assumes the video failed its initial test, even if the content improves later. Next is session impact. Does your video cause viewers to leave YouTube, or does it keep them watching other videos? For new channels, this matters more than total watch time. Here's the key detail most creators miss. If YouTube cannot confidently label your video, meaning it can't clearly match it to a specific viewer profile, distribution stalls. This isn't punishment. It's uncertainty. New channels don't fail because YouTube hates them. They fail because the algorithm lacks enough clean data to justify expanding reach. Once you understand that YouTube is testing behavior, not talent, everything about growth starts to make sense. 2. Why thumbnails and titles decide your fate, especially on new channels. For a new channel, your thumbnail and title aren't just marketing tools. They are data filters. When YouTube shows your video to a small test audience, it isn't asking, is this video good? It's asking, does this packaging attract the right viewer? Click-through rate alone is not the goal. A high CTR from the wrong audience is worse than a lower CTR from the right one. This is where many new creators accidentally sabotage themselves. If your title is too broad, YouTube tests it on a mixed audience. If your thumbnail is too emotional or misleading, people click but leave early. That mismatch tells the algorithm one thing: uncertain viewer satisfaction. YouTube tracks how people click. Do they hesitate? Do they return to the homepage immediately? Do they abandon the video before the hook finishes? These microsignals matter more on new channels because there's no historical data to balance them out. Another critical factor is expectation alignment. The first 10 seconds must confirm exactly what the thumbnail and title promised. If the opening feels different, even slightly, retention drops, and the test fails. This is why experienced creators can use vague titles and still win. You can't. Not yet. New channels need specific, accurate, and predictable packaging. So YouTube can confidently label the video and identify similar viewers. Your thumbnail and title don't exist to go viral. They exist to reduce uncertainty. Once YouTube understands who your video is for, it becomes far more willing to show it again and again. 3. Watch time is not what you think it is. Most new creators obsess over one metric: watch time. They assume longer videos automatically mean better performance. That assumption is wrong. YouTube does not reward raw watch time in isolation. It rewards watch time relative to viewer expectation. A 10-minute video with 40% retention often outperforms a 30-minute video with 15% retention, especially on new channels. Why? Because retention tells YouTube whether viewers felt the video was worth their time. For new creators, early retention curves are everything. YouTube analyzes how steeply viewers drop off in the first 15, 30, and 60 seconds. A sharp decline signals confusion, boredom, or mismatch, and the system pulls distribution fast. But here's the technical detail most people miss. YouTube also tracks active engagement signals inside the video. Pauses. Rewinds. Playback speed changes. These behaviors indicate cognitive interest, not passive viewing. Another overlooked metric is relative audience retention. Your video isn't judged alone, it's compared against other videos watched by the same audience. If yours holds attention better than average, YouTube sees it as a competitive option. This is why simply making longer videos doesn't work. If viewers stay because they're confused or waiting for the point, YouTube can detect that pattern, and it's not rewarded. High-performing new channels design content that earns attention continuously, not in bulk. Every 20 to 30 seconds, YouTube expects a reason for the viewer to stay, a new idea, a clarification, a payoff. Watch time doesn't scale growth. Sustained attention does. And for new channels, sustained attention is the clearest signal that your video deserves a second test and a larger audience. 4. Engagement signals matter. But not the way you've been told. Likes, comments, and subscribers are often treated like growth triggers. But for new channels, they are not primary ranking signals. YouTube does not push a video because it gets likes. It pushes a video because viewer behavior predicts satisfaction. Engagement works differently. It acts as a confirmation signal, not a discovery signal. When someone likes a video but leaves early, the like is ignored. When someone watches deeply, rewinds, and then comments, that behavior reinforces quality. YouTube always prioritizes what people do over what they click. Another technical detail most creators miss is engagement timing. Early engagement from the wrong audience can slow growth. If viewers who don't normally watch this topic engage briefly, YouTube's labeling becomes noisy. This is why like and subscribe at the start of a video often hurts new channels. It creates low-quality interactions before YouTube understands who the content is for. Comments matter most when they reflect cognitive engagement, questions, clarifications, disagreements. One thoughtful comment outweighs 10 generic ones. Subscriptions behave the same way. A subscription after 2 minutes means very little. A subscription near the end of the video is a strong signal of satisfaction and trust. Here's the retention-driven truth. Engagement does not cause reach. Reach causes engagement after satisfaction is proven. New channels grow when engagement is a byproduct of value, not a request. Once YouTube sees that viewers naturally interact after watching, it becomes more confident expanding distribution. That confidence, not likes, is what unlocks growth. 5. Consistency is not the signal you think it is. You need to upload consistently. That advice is repeated everywhere, and misunderstood almost every time. YouTube does not reward consistency by default. It rewards predictability in viewer response. Uploading every day does nothing if each video attracts a different audience, triggers different behaviors, and produces different retention patterns. From the algorithm's perspective, that's not consistency, it's noise. What YouTube actually tracks is content identity stability. Do viewers who enjoyed your last video also enjoy the next one? Do similar thumbnails attract similar people? Do retention curves look familiar across uploads? When those patterns repeat, YouTube becomes confident in its recommendations. This is why new channels often stall after a few uploads. Each video resets the test instead of building on the previous one. Another technical factor is topic clustering. YouTube learns faster when multiple videos solve related problems for the same viewer type. One isolated viral-style video teaches the system very little. Consistency isn't about frequency. It's about signal alignment over time. This is also why deleting underperforming videos rarely helps. Those videos still provide data, even negative data, that teaches YouTube who not to show your content to. Growth begins when your channel behaves like a reliable system, not a random uploader. Once YouTube can predict how viewers will react before testing, distribution expands naturally. At that point, the algorithm stops asking, "Should we test this?" and starts assuming, "This will probably work." That shift is what separates struggling new channels from growing ones. If you've made it this far, here's the most important thing to understand. YouTube growth is not random. It's not luck. And it's definitely not about being chosen by the algorithm. It's about learning how the system reads behavior, and then designing your content to send clear, consistent signals. Most new creators quit right before YouTube finishes learning who their content is for. Not because they're bad, but because they misinterpret silence as failure. In reality, that silence is data collection. If this video helped you see YouTube differently, even slightly, let me know by liking the video. It tells YouTube this explanation was valuable and helps it reach other new creators stuck in the same position. If you have questions, confusion, or want me to break down your specific situation, drop a comment. I read them, and your question might shape the next video. And if you want more clear, technical breakdowns like this, no hype, no shortcuts, no recycled advice, subscribe. Every video builds on the last, so you're not starting over every time. Share this with someone who's uploading consistently but seeing nothing happen. Because once you understand how YouTube actually works, growth stops feeling impossible and starts feeling predictable.